test. Okay. All right. We still got a pretty decent crowd. I appreciate you guys. I know it's been back-to-back sessions of presentations, and we're entering lunchtime. So this is the last session before we enter a lunch break. So again, really appreciate you guys making the time to listen to, I think, a really exciting discussion. So to just start, my name is Steven. I'm on the Snaps Developer Relations team. I support the AR community team on building on our platform. I know many of you maybe have already heard from Atlee from the keynote just talking about Lens Studio, but for those that missed it, Lens Studio in short is a complete development platform that allows you to build AR experiences and distribute them to any surfaces. So this includes Snapchatters to mirrors, to websites, to mobile apps, iOS and Android, and our AR glasses spectacles. So I had the opportunity to invite 3 of our superstars that have really spent a lot of time and investment in building with Lens Studio across these different surfaces to share their experience, to hear from them directly, what that experience is like, what those insights are, what they've learned across the industry throughout time. So my hope for you all to take away from this is to feel inspired and also just to be more curious. Right? If AR, the spatial experiences is something that you really want to continue to invest in, then we really hope that Lens Studio is part of that future. So let's kick off with introductions. So to kick us off, can each of you briefly introduce yourself, role, company, location, and the kind of spatial experiences you've been building with Lens Studio? We'll start off with you, Boon.
Hi, thanks, Steven. I'm Boon from Goa. Yeah, so I'm based in Singapore, and our mission is to make experiences that make you go wow. Yeah. So before Spectacles, my team has made like 500 over as mobile AR experiences, including Web AR and also Snapchat Lens for brands such as like Disney, Netflix, Singapore Tourism Board, etc. Yeah. So but after Spectacles, we have also built like a few prototype lens on the Spectacles and also a traveling apps on Spatial as well.
Hi, I'm Oliver, the Director of Design and Innovation at a user experience consultancy based in Sydney called Contextual. We have been playing around. We first got involved with Spectacles 4 and then Spectacles 5, and really trying to get in to understand the user needs and behaviours of how people want to interact with spectacles before they hit the consumer market. So taking this opportunity to use these hardware dev kits to really learn from how people want to interact with these things. So we work with a lot of clients, obviously, and our sort of perspective on that is how do we match their business model with the particular stages of a customer journey that spectacles might really support well. So we were lucky enough to have one of our client projects showcased at LensFest in October last year.
Hello everyone, my name is Dmytro Kornilov. I'm CEO of FaceMe Innovation Agency and Lukia Smart Mirror platform. We create innovation projects for world-renowned brands like L'Oreal, Dolce & Gabbana, Bershka, Burberry, Pepsi, and many others. We are based in London, Paris, and New York, but we work worldwide. Soon we will launch a lot of cool projects here in Singapore, in Malaysia, and in China. And we're mostly famous, I guess, for our AR mirror projects. We've did more than 150 AR mirror projects during last years, and we use the perfect Snapchat ecosystem to launch cross-platform activations for our clients, which cover offline, online, web, and social media.
Amazing. So as you can tell, we have a really amazing panel here with years of experience in covering all these surface areas. So let's move into the next section, talking about building spatial experiences with Lens Studio. as a developer or business, there are so many choices out there, and one that can be very exciting. The other side of it, it can be frustrating or complex in trying to understand, which tool to choose. So my question for you is, what initially drew you to Lens Studio as your platform for building some of the spatial experiences you've built today? And maybe we can start with Oliver.
Sure. So the key by far and away was the spectacles themselves, right? Like especially starting with Spectacles 4, there was no other device out there like it in terms of being able to prototype, to ideate, to have a set of glasses that you could put on and have an experience, and then obviously with Spectacles 5 even more so, and to have that device that was so capable in terms of the sensors, the interaction, and so on, was super powerful. So that meant that, therefore we had to use Lens Studio, and that was an easy onboarding for the designers and prototypers on our team.
Dima?
So for us, Lens Studio and Snapshot platform is basically a Swiss Army knife, a platform that allows to develop everything AR. And also what's cool is that this Swiss Army knife also works as a Lego, where you can not just do different stuff, but you can create your own stuff. And that is the most attractive thing for us. So that's basically the main reason why we prefer Camera Kit Snap Lens Studio, because it can cover it all, and in some cases, it can cover it all exclusively. For instance, in terms of free web AR, it's basically the main player, and actually it's a player who even killed the dinosaur, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so I agree with what both of them said, but for me, custom lens marker is the reason why I first got into Lens Studio. Yeah, so of course there are other solutions out there for location-based AR, but I feel that Lens Studio made it really easy for you to scan the location, import it into Lens Studio, and make AR effects, and finally publishing it is really easy and smooth. So I use these features to make like a location-based AR for Singapore Tourism Board in Singapore. Yeah, and it's still live if you happen to pass by like Haji Lane. Yeah, and we are continuing using Lens Studio because of the cross-platform, so we can do it on Camera Kit with Web AR and also on Spectacles.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these are all great answers, because I think if we continue to ask developers, there's just a long list, right? And I think that's the opportunity Lens Studio has for developers and businesses, is that there is such a wide availability of features and benefits and values that can fit your needs. And so we've heard from Oliver on the hardware front that we're innovating and pushing compared to competitors. Dima's front on the cost of it, on the flexibility, the Swiss Army knife, and building on top of it to make your own custom solution, to then even something very specific of using location AR, that maybe that's something you're passionate about that you can leverage. So, yeah,
Can I jump in? And Atlee mentioned this in her presentation this morning. I think also the pace of change and the way that it's updated, like you're always adding things to it that then add more value to the rest of the process and the products for us.
Yeah, good one. We have a bit of time in this section, so I'm going to ask this next question, which is, if one of you guys want to answer this one, it is, can you share one project where Lens Studio enabled something you couldn't have easily built on another platform? This one's a free-for-all, whoever wants to answer this.
Can build or can build?
Couldn't have built, only on Lens Studio, or easily built on Lens Studio.
Yeah, I think for us particularly, and traditionally, I've had a consultancy now for 15 years. We're focused on sort of research, strategy, and design. But we work across a range of platforms, web, mobile apps, and spatial computing. But for us, this device is so unique. It's such an easy way to really explore things. It's a device that you can obviously pick up and put on. You don't have extra stuff there. So that enables a whole range of interaction. And I think and again, Natalie mentioned this, is Snap 2.0 or additional functionality. The ability to roll it out to things like museums and multi-device usage, like that fleet management aspect, is just completely different to any other device in this space, in the AR glasses space.
Yeah, I also came up with one product. So we've integrated virtual try-on of Makeup to Makeup by Mario website. It's more than 200 products, and we've did it for us free of charge. We didn't pay for the SDK. We have a very basically out-of-box plugin that we plugged in Shopify website by our client. We've used the Snapchat lenses, and now they basically play. And they are now basically integrated into the website, so they don't open as a new window. No, they're embedded into website. And more importantly, they're connected to the client catalog, which means that when you switch the lens, the button to purchase the product also changes. So, and I could say that this is one of the industry best cases in terms of quality, because Snapchat is also known for a very good quality. And being frank, we've tried other engines for beauty try-on, and it looks awful. So we've actually did a research. You can go to makeupbymario.com and try it on yourself. But this is something that right now you can build exclusively with Camera Kit.
Yeah. I want to add on to the Spectacles and also the free part. Yeah, because you can use free AI on Spectacles for all developers. That we can use OpenAI, Gemini, or DeepSeek for free. Yeah, and that's how my team actually used that to make the traveling app to support 200 over languages, which I don't think is possible, at least for us, without the AI, the free AI provided by Lens Studio. Yeah.
Let's move to the next section, which is just talking about the cross-platform reach across all of these different services. So Lens Studio, again, lets you deploy to Snapchat, to mirrors, to web, mobiles, iOS, Android, and glasses. So the question here is, how does that cross-platform reach influence how you guys design your experiences? Maybe we'll start with Dima on this rotation.
So this gives us a very big confidence when we start working with our clients, because we know that clients, they don't care about technology. They only care about communication goals, marketing KPIs. And we always know that for every client, it's 360 degree. So since we know that we can deploy across all platforms, and by the way, not only in terms of mirrors, it's not only big screens, it's also iPads, because we can build a web app for iPad, and it's also mobile phones. We can build the web app for mobile phone. We can have in countries where Snapchat is not popular, for instance. And this gives us a very big confidence during the pitch, because we say, we will cover your big retail, we will cover your medium retail, we will cover your small retail, your smallest retail. We will also cover your web, we will make a landing page, we will also go on Snapchat. So this gives us opportunity to not speak in a language of tech limitations, like we can only do this on TikTok and that's it. But we can speak their language and say that this communication will be 360 degree, it will be consistent, and it will work in the same way.
Oliver? Or no, sorry, Oliver.
Yep. So similarly, as a UX agency, we are focused on what the customer's needs and behaviors are and how do we support those throughout the customer journey. And so we don't necessarily go into a project going, oh, well, we need a mobile app and we need a Google TV app and we need spectacles. and we start with that research process. So we had a client who was an electric vehicle charging company. So we'd go out and we'd watch how people pulled up into the charging bay, got out of their cars, went and got the charger. What did they do first? Did they plug it in? Did they tap their card? Did they do whatever? And we spent a bunch of time doing that, and obviously talking to those customers as well about those experiences. And what we find is these different parts of that customer journey, and different technologies support different parts of that customer journey. And we've got that lens of not only what might support them today, but what might support them tomorrow. So obviously the main function of that project was to do a mobile app. But we've also identified these opportunities in future where when customers consumers can buy these devices, where these glasses will have a unique opportunity in that customer journey to play a role. And we were talking about that and sort of throwing that around, and then it was like, well, actually, Camera Kit does some of that functionality now. So, they could build that functionality into the app now to enhance that experience and again, provide a more comprehensive customer journey that's supported and guided through the way.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of cross-platform opportunity yet, but if I speak from the developer point of view, individual developer, I feel that it makes things easier because you can publish it on Lens, Snapchat. At the same time, you can just click one button to create it on a hosted webinar. Yeah, so I also taught workshop for using Lens Studio before, and because in Singapore, Snapchat is not so widely used, but the hosted webinar is really useful. You can just press one button and all the users, all my class attendees, they can just try it and use it, and they can easily share it with everyone else. Yeah, and also if you create any games on Snapchat or webinar, if you want to port it to the Spectacles in the future, you can easily use the same script, same game logic. Just copy and paste to the Spectacles project, and it should work easily as well. Yeah.
So, like most industries, XR has also its ups and downs. It can be difficult to find monetization opportunities, and that really can be the motivator into why people choose certain tools or really stay in this industry. So my question to you guys is, how have you been able to monetize when building with Lens Studio? If you guys could share it, and we'll start with you, Boon.
Okay, so definitely branded lenses. Yeah, so for us, one of the first few jobs for Lens is actually from a collaboration with Snapchat and Singapore Tourism Board. Yeah, so working with brands and also sometimes Snapchat, yeah, that is how we get monetized. And yeah, we also prototype on Spectacles, and that get us noticed by Snapchat as well. And yeah, so we are also working with them with TripAdvisor to build a lens for the coming launch of the commercial version. Yeah. So yeah, branded works.
I don't have much to say on this one just because we're not monetizing a lot on Spectacles yet, but I think this year with the announcement, obviously in the middle of last year, that the consumer specs will be coming out, I think that we're now starting to think about what are the potential ways to monetize that for clients in headset. Obviously, very conscious of the aspects that Alvin brought up in his talk as well about the nature of AR glasses, and we're not trying to fill the person's field of view with a bunch of ads, etc., etc.
For us, the answer is very straightforward. We developed AR mirror platform, and we create AR mirror projects for brands. We have basically two ways to monetize. First, we sell our software, AR mirror software. And second, we develop snapshot lenses that we use inside these AR mirrors. So yeah, that's how we monetize.
Yeah, no, I love it. Should be pretty straightforward for monetization opportunities, so it's great. Okay, so we'll move on to the next session where we'll just briefly talk about developer workflow and tools for those that are in the audience that haven't yet started Lens Studio, just kind of get a peek of this. So, for developers who already know Unity, WebXR, or other 3D tools, it can be a painful or daunting task to just consider another tool to learn and just switch. And so my question to you guys, to you, Oliver, to start this is, how steep is that learning curve for Lens Studio? Because I know you guys, all three of you, I feel like are still dabbling in different tools. So you guys do have a way to kind of compare and to kind of share with the developers in the audience.
Yeah. So because we're a UX consultancy, we don't have a big in-house development team, which means that some of our UX designers are actually prototype developers, essentially. And Lens Studio is as has been pointed out, it's free. So it's really easy for those on the team who wanted to get in and start playing around and checking stuff out. It's very accessible. Obviously, you just download it and you can get going. So that hurdle, and that allows more exploration, right? That there's not this overhead, there's not this burden, the accessibility is there so they can get in and get started. And if you compare it to tools that say Vision OS, for example, then you've got multiple tool sets that you might be using in a particular project. And the beauty of Lens Studio is that it's all in there, basically, and you can do, as Boon mentioned, everything from, we just did a project that was involving an AI agent, and so you can work within that tool. So it's really simple from that perspective, but very capable.
I can say that our developers started learning. So first they were very proficient at Metaspark, then TikTok, and then we switched to Lens Studio, and they learned everything within like a couple of months, I think. And now they got to a super advanced level with crazy customizations, integrations and stuff. So I would say that it's quite easy to jump in, even from scratch, also considering the amount of tutorials and a very powerful community Snapchat has. And also, what I want to mention is that one of the benefits for newcomers and for existing community members is responsiveness of Snapchat team. So you can actually give like questions and you will receive an answer. You can report bugs, you will receive feedback. You can make feature requests and they might be integrated. So yeah, it's a good moment to jump in and it's an easy onboarding.
Yeah, so if you're already familiar with Unity, I think Lens Studio is quite similar for me, at least, when we compare with Unity. So Lens Studio is also there's component as well. So you can attach script or different object to a single object. And it's also frame-based programming, although it uses TypeScript or JavaScript. But TypeScript, to me, is quite similar to C#. So with the help of AI, I think it should be pretty easy for you to get the hang of it. And yeah, you just have to get used to some of the AR features that are available on Snap, and I think it should be fine. And if you are coming from WebSR, I feel that you should have an easier time, since there's a very mature and established user interface that you can use like Unity. And there's also shader graph. I really like the shader graph on Lens Studio. And so if you're coming from WebSR, I think having a shader graph will help you a lot in creating any shaders.
I think there's that. I think you brought up a great point, Dmytro. I think, Lens Studio is critical, but it's the bits around and the people, and not to suck up to you, Stephen, but I think one of the great things about Snap is the developer relations team and the openness, the community that you guys build. And, I've been coming to this for last 3 years now. It's a very inclusive, DevRel team. We're not doing anything on Snapchat. We were focused on glasses, and we knew glasses were going to, but we always included, whether it's AWE in the USA or here, it's a great community, and the dev community out there beyond there, the independent devs are phenomenal as well. So we introduce them to our clients to work on projects, but it feels like a community, and there's feedback and contact with the DevRel team, which you don't get on all the platforms.
Thank you for that. I didn't insert that into a script.
You can pay me later.
Okay, I know we're under a minute left, so we'll kind of skip to, I believe, I want to try to squeeze in 2 questions. I hope they won't kick me off too early. So I'll just squeeze these in. So if an experienced developer in the audience wanted to build their first spatial experience, where would you recommend they start? We'll just try to keep this response short. What comes to mind? We'll start with you, Dima.
If the developer wants to build a special, so when it comes to building anything, my first suggestion would be to ask a question: what experiences do people need? Because we have plenty of experiences that were created with a focus on technology, and even though they're beautiful, they don't like go farther than just show real video, and so that would be my take.
I'll second that for speed purposes.
Yeah, so for Lens Studio will be the Snap AR YouTube channel, and for Spectacles will be the Spectacles Ready. Yep.
Great. And then to close it out, in one sentence, what excites you most about where spatial computing is headed and Lens Studio's role in that future?
I would say that what excites me the most is that it seems like all technologies, AR, AI, mixed reality, they're blending in one device, and this device will have, so instead of experiencing some stuff on laptop, some stuff on the phone, some stuff on headsets, we will have it all in one place. And I think that if Snapshot will find the right way to blend all of this technology, it can maintain its leadership role, yeah, for the future.
I think, obviously with the launch of the specs later this year, we're seeing it's going to be a very exciting year from a hardware perspective, and I think that's really going to explore these use cases and how consumers want to uptake that, the positioning of that, and the ways through utilities, apps, etc., that we enable them to do amazing things, as Atlee said this morning.
Yeah, so Spectacles or AR glasses, definitely exciting. For Lens Studio, even if you don't have access to Spectacles yet, you can start by learning it and making mobile ARs. And when it comes, or you can just use the simulator on Lens Studio to start building on Spectacles if you want. And when it's finally here, or when you manage to get it, you will be ready. Yeah.
Boon, Oliver, Dima, thank you so much. Round of applause, everyone, for our panelists.